We finally get to design a baseball poster, and I dedicate this video to all my Indian viewers, my Indian subscribers. I wanted to use cricket, but I don't know anybody in cricket. So after following this design, you can replace the images with your favorite cricket players or teams. So let's quickly look at the speed up session and let's get started right away. Alright, so we are in a new document panel and we are going to create 1080 pixels by 1350 pixels. Okay, 8-bit, 300 resolution, RGB, click rate. So let's quickly grab gradient. Okay, so let's set it to 0 and then let's click the gradient, choose foreground to background, and with this side we are going to pick this color. You can copy the color code, and this side we are going to choose blue. So I'm going to paste the color, then you copy. Okay, all right, so let's go into our resources folder and bring this guy. So you're going to add exposure. Okay, then clip it, then let's drag it to, let's say, 0.4, then drag this guy here. Okay, then we add curves, clip it, and let's drag it somewhere here. All right, so you can, the input is 202 and the output 163. You can copy that. So let's select the curves layer mask. Okay, and then grab the brush, foreground black. Okay, then let's brighten this area. Let's see. Okay, so let's select this layer. Okay, this guy, let's select it, and okay, let's select the gradient, then grab the pen tool. Okay, so with the pen tool, mine is set to path over here, so I will just click this to drop this down and select shape. Then we are going to draw a shape behind this, so make sure you have the lines behind that stadium roof or something. Okay, so with this, double click on the layer thumbnail to bring the color picker, then you just pick white. Okay, so hold shift and click the topmost layer to have them selected, and then click on this to group them. Okay, so you can name the group let's say bridge. Okay, bridge. All right, now select the layer below, which is the gradient. Go into our resources and let's bring this guy. So let's go ahead and change the blend mode to lighten and add layer mask. Grab your brush with foreground black. Okay, and then let's clean the edges. Don't clean too much. Okay, this is cool. All right, so now let's go into the resources and bring this image. Okay, so I'll place it here. Then I'll right click and flip horizontal. Okay, then click OK from here. Then I'll go ahead and change the blend mode to hard light and add layer mask. Grab your brush, foreground black. Okay, then let's blend this side. Okay, cool. So the next thing is, let's bring this baseball. Okay, then I'll resize it. So I'll resize it for it to take the shape of the sun. Okay. So we're gonna keep it like this. Don't worry about this place because one of an image will cover this place. So let's go ahead and change the blend mode to hard light and add layer mask. Grab the brush, foreground black. Okay, you're going to wipe. Let's lower the flow. So we are going to blend the edges. Okay, they look sharp, so I'm going to blend the edges with the sun. As for the bottom here, the images will cover up, so you don't have to worry about that. Just focus up here and blend it. Okay, just the tip. All right, so let's select the layer below it and let's go and bring this. Okay, so does it, and what you're going to do is very simple. Okay, we're going to click on this FX, go to blending options, and down here blend if. Okay, so with the first bar, this is this layer and underlying layer. Okay, so hold Alt on the keyboard and click to divide, and then drag the right one here, somewhere here. Okay, then click OK. Add layer mask, grab the brush. I already have the brush. Okay, so foreground black. Let's clean this side out. Okay, all right, now let's select the baseball layer. Okay, and add exposure. We are not clipping it, we're just dragging. All right, so -0.1 is okay. Grab the brush, okay, with foreground black. All right, and let's wipe. Okay, let me bring the flow to, so we are going to get shadows at the edge. Okay, right, so let me, okay, then let's add curves, adjustment layer, and the input we are going to make it, for the input we are taking 126, and then the output we are taking 56, right? And then hit Ctrl I on the keyboard. Foreground should be white this time, okay, because we've inverted it. And let's bring the flow down. It's too vibrant, so all right, so let's bring this glow guy. So you're going to stretch it down. Okay, so hold shift on the keyboard, click and drag down. Okay, okay, so that's cool. Now let's change the blend mode to linear dodge add. Okay, and let's duplicate it. Hit Ctrl J and hide the bottom one, and this guy, the top one, hit Ctrl plus U on the keyboard for the hue and saturation, and for the hue make it -160, and with the saturation we're going to make it 29. Okay, so let's move it to the right a little. Okay, now let's bring this guy back, and let me hide this. Let me move it here. Okay, then let's unhide this guy. Now hit Control T for the transform and hold down Shift, okay, and drag, stretch it to the right a little and bring it here. Okay, and let's join this guy. So let's go into our images folder and bring this guy. Okay, and let's decrease the size. Okay, so let me push it up a little. This is okay. So let's hit Control U for the hue and saturation, okay, and where we have master, drop it down, reds. Let's take the reds to -155, okay, and click here and choose yellows, and let's drag it to 152. Let's make it 152. Okay, and click OK. Okay, so now bro is looking like a smurf. So what we're going to do is very simple. You see this layer, we have smart filters, which is hue or saturation, and at the right side you see this icon with two parallel lines and arrows going up and down. Double click on that, change the opacity to 50 and the blend mode, let's make it screen, okay, and click OK. Now select the smart filters layer mask, grab your brush and foreground black. Let's clean the side, okay. Let's make the flow 100 or something so that we will see. Let me undo that, okay. So we are just dividing the face into two. Alright, so this is cool. So let's duplicate this image layer by hitting Ctrl J on the keyboard, okay, and click on the smart filters, click, hold and drag to delete it, okay. All right, now hit Ctrl U again, change from master to blues, and for the blue hue we are making it 105 plus 105, okay, and the saturation is going to be 11, and with the lightness let's make it -34 and click OK. Now let's go to this layer, right click and rasterize layer, okay, and add layer mask. Grab your brush with foreground black and let's clean the side. Okay, so that was cool. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is let me clip this guy into that. When you hold Alt and then you can clip, or you can right click on the layer and then clip and mask. Okay, so let's add color balance and let me clip it below. Take the cyan to, let's say, 80, okay, and let's push the blues somewhere here. All right, I don't want to get too much blues in here, okay, so let's make it 68 -65. It's okay. Let's select the color balance layer mask, okay, and then with the brush foreground black, let's clean the side. Okay, and let's create a new one. Color balance, clip it, and let's push the yellows here and let's dig it into the reds, okay, like this, so it blends with the other side. And with the layer mask of the color balance selected, foreground black, let's clean the side, okay. Okay, now let me zoom in somewhere here, okay, and let's create exposure. Let's add exposure, clip it, let's push it to +6 something. Okay, 6.6. Ouch. So Control I, invert that, and we are going to use a very small brush, okay, so decrease the size of your brush and with foreground white. Okay, let's highlight over here the edges. Okay, so lower the flow. Let's lower the flow. Okay, and let's increase the brush a little. Let me lower the flow again. Okay, so let's increase the flow to 100 and let's add some to the side. So after this, we are going to add a solid color. Okay, so let's add a solid color, and you can copy the color code. Copy the color code. What am I saying? You have to copy the color. Okay, and let's change it to linear dodge and select the mask. Okay, and Control I to invert, and let me zoom in. Okay, so with the foreground white, let's add some glowy stuffs, but let's right click and create clipping mask. Okay, let me lower it to, let's say, 9. Okay, then let's blend it. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so this is cool, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. So let's add another solid color and copy the color code, change it to linear dodge, and select the mask. Control I to invert. Grab your brush. I already have my brush, foreground white. Okay, so let's add some glows. Okay, we have to clip it, so right click and create clipping mask. Okay, all right, so let's bring it to 3. I think 3 is cool. Okay, so that's cool, okay, so let's come down, okay, and select this exposure right here, and let's add another exposure. Let's drag it down. For the gamma correction, let's increase it. Control I to invert. Okay, grab your brush, foreground should be white. Okay, lower the flow, and then let's tap some shadows in here. If it is too much, let me undo that. Mine is too much, so let me lower the flow. All right, so what we're going to do is let's select this top layer, okay, the solid color, and select the last layer of the image. Hold down shift, okay, and then click the last image. You select all of them together, hit Ctrl G, or you can use the group icon over here, and you can name this, double click on it, you can name it hero. So now we are going to consider, we have to make few changes. Okay, let's delete, you see this guy Los Angeles, let's delete it. Okay, it has to make sense. So we are considering, I think he's a Japanese or a Chinese, so we have to consider yin and yang. Okay, yin yang, that's whatever. So what you're going to do is you see this ball right here. We're going to duplicate it, but before that, let's select this layer. Then let's bring a blue moon. Okay, so it should be sun and moon, and then we got water, fire. You know, it has to make sense. So as above, so below. Okay, so let me add layer mask. Grab your brush. Okay, the saddest part of this thing is that I didn't do a preview before, I mean, attempting to make a video with it. So you know, if you have to make changes to places where necessary. Okay, so let's duplicate this guy. Control J, Control T. Okay, right click, flip horizontal, and then bring him here. All right, and with this, the duplicate, let's hit Control U for the hue and saturation. Click the master, choose reds. Okay, and let's take the reds saturation to 0. Okay, and the yellows, let's take the saturation to 0. Good, and click OK, and let's select the mask. Okay, and grab the brush again. Let me zoom in over here. So let me change this guy. Let's change the blend mode to lighter color, and let's add exposure, or let's add curves instead. Clip it, let's drag it to the shadows. Okay, Control I, brush, increase your brush, and then foreground white. Okay, let's lower the flow a little, then let's bounce off this thing right here. Okay, that's cool. For the rest, we are going to add glow lights. Okay, so simple as ABC, just select the layer directly below the hero group. Okay, so select this and create a new layer, and we are going to grab the brush too. Okay, so grab your brush, make sure your color is white. Okay, and let's add white fringes before we add glow lights. Make sure your flow is 100. Let's create a new layer, and let's pick a color from here and change it to linear dodge. Okay, now let's switch it to the blues. Okay, so we are going to use this glow light template. Okay, I have a tutorial on how to use this in my channel, so if you have difficulties in creating glow lights, check this video out. So you're going to grab the brush blue layer, select it, and click and drag into the document. Okay, so make sure it's below the hero and the bridge groups. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in and increase the brush like this. Okay, we are going to brush within so that the glow lights will pop outside. Okay, that's cool. Let's go back to the template and brush yellow. I think it is down here. Click and drag and place it here. Then same thing, going to okay, so this is cool. So let me click here to add. Okay, now let's go into our images folder and let's bring this image. So let's quickly do this. So let's use Ctrl U and click master. With the blues, let's drag it to -180, and let's change the blend mode to soft light. Okay, then add layer mask. With the brush, foreground should be black. Okay, then let's clean. Let's quickly bring this guy. Then let's grab color balance. Make sure you clip it. Let's drag the yellow to max, -100, and red to +100. Right, after that, let's grab exposure, clip it. Let's lower it a bit, and let's grab this guy. Control I to invert. All right, grab the brush, foreground white. Now let's go and select the layer and then change it to hard light. So let's select the exposure and then go and bring this guy. Now let's go grab color balance. Okay, and then clip it, push it to blue, push the blue to max. Okay, then add exposure, clip it, Control I, grab your brush, foreground white. Then let's change the blend mode to hard light, and then with this layer, okay, select the layer below it and create a new layer. Grab the brush, sample a color from this place, okay, the glow over here, and then brush here like that. Okay, so with that, let's scroll to the top and select the topmost layer, and then let's bring these two guys. Okay, all right, so select the two and then resize. Control T, right click, and then flip horizontal with this guy. So I've moved forward a little. You can see I've already added the shadows, and you all can do this. You add exposure, you know how to add exposure, and then you just apply them where I've applied the shadows. Okay, so this is a group. You can group them together, select the layer below it, create a new layer, and then grab the brush, right click, squeeze this guy down a little. Okay, and then with foreground black, okay, just add like that. And again, this layer, select the group. Okay, Control J to duplicate, right click, and then choose merge group to merge them. Control T, right click, flip vertical. Okay, then move it down like this. Okay, then add layer mask, grab the brush, right click, choose the soft round brush, increase the brush size a little bit, foreground black. Okay, then you can lower the opacity a little, and then select the layer thumbnail and then go to filter and then blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, then let's add a blur amount of, let's say 2.93. okay, all right, so since this white background is a shape, click anywhere you have the shape selected and then create a new layer on top. Grab the brush. I'll use this brush. Okay, so the it is among the resources, so use this brush. All right, I think if you go to brushes and it is cloud smoke 4, brush wallow 4, number 4. Okay, so you're going to pick the number 4 and then sample a color from here. Okay, so when you sample, you just drag it somewhere here. Okay, if you go to the color picker, just drag it somewhere here. All right, then you just brush. Okay, and then you sample a color from here, go to the color picker and then drag it here. Then you just add some brushes like that. So after that, let's sample again and let's drag it somewhere here. Click, sample from here somewhere here, and then click. So after that, you just, with the layer selected, you just go to filter, blur, and then radial blur. Okay, but if you go straight, you can't edit it later. So let's select convert for smart filters to convert it to smart filter, so that if you go to blur, radial blur, add a blur amount of 15, then we click OK, we can make changes or tweak it later if you want. Okay, all right, so let's try and finish up. So with this baseball, let's go to filter, blur gallery, and path blur. So with this pin, you can click here and drag to the bat. Okay, and click this guy, or you can just curve it from here. Then with the basic blur, move it to rear sync flash. Okay, and push the speed to 169, and the taper, let's bring it to 17 or 18, and then let's click this end anchor point to activate this guy, and then let's push it to 161 or something. Okay, so this is cool. Go ahead and click OK. Then let's change the blend mode to linear light. So let me zoom in and go to the top, select the topmost layer, paste this guy here, and let me resize it. Okay, so with this, select only this. Okay, and hit Ctrl J to duplicate and drag the duplicate below this group 1. Okay, don't let it fall into the group below the group 1. Okay, and the top one, just double click, blending option appears. With the fill opacity, drag it to 0, add a stroke white. Okay, and let's decrease the stroke size. Okay, then paste the Dodgers logo over here. Okay, and change it to the blend mode soft light. And the last thing that we're going to do is select, click here, and then come and select the background. Okay, so if you check over here is brighter than this side, so let's go and bring in this guy. All right, so I'll resize and let this side take the shape of the moon. After that, I'll change it to screen and then add layer mask, grab the brush, take a soft round brush, and then foreground black. Let me just wipe this place. Okay, then wipe the side. You just want only the side. So this is the final outcome, and if you check, I just added this guy here and I added some shadows here. Okay, you can use that with exposure, and this powder brush, it is included in the resources, the link in the description. Kindly grab that. And if you are new here, make sure you subscribe to this channel. This is Cool Graphics, aka the Design Chef, and I'm out. Peace.